Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Hunt Club podcast. Today we have a product briefing with our wonderful friend Tiff from the product marketing team. Do you want to say hello to everyone?
Hey everyone, good to be here again.
Yeah, and we have once again some release notes, release platform enhancements. We do this about like every month. So if you haven't checked out the last one, that should be the July one. But yeah, we do this every month just to talk about the awesome things that are happening. Um, on our platform and our product. So let's get started. Yep.
So Zoe, tell us more about Java 4 fingerprints.
Yeah, absolutely. In Jaw 4, it's really interesting because it actually helps with understanding where attacks are. It's sort of like a fingerprint. Forensics, you leave behind evidence, it's fingerprints. So and what Jaw 4 Plus is that next generation fingerprinting for encrypted traffic. So that's Jaw 4L, Jaw 4X, Jaw 4H into the metadata. And this is really significant because in our investigations, one of the sources of metadata is this Jaw 4 fingerprinting. So what this new generation does is that it reduces fingerprint collisions, links related sessions, uncovers attacker infrastructure hidden in common protocols. So it just adds more of that visibility into what attackers are doing. And we are now supporting it in Investigate on Rux, and our stream, and our recall products. So that's basically literally all of our products right there where we're supporting this job 4 plus fingerprinting. And what this really means for security teams is what, like I mentioned, clearer insights with less noise, better context across detections, and faster, more confident investigations. So when you're using our instant investigations or advanced investigations, you're going to get that, all that meat regarding job 4 plus fingerprinting. So yeah, um, it's just more visibility, more coverage for us and for you.
Perfect. It's really about investigation, speeding up, accelerating it, and helping you stop the attack faster, which is everything like rooted in everything that we do. So perfect.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, so next up, I know we have some exciting things that now about Microsoft Teams. So tell us more about that.
Yeah, and I recently did a podcast with John Bencini, and why is that? Do you see that? Is that
Yeah.
kind of like distorted to you? We'll fix that in post. But anyway, um, yeah. So vector threats on Microsoft Teams. I did their podcast recently with John Mancini about this, and this is actually super super exciting because we are basically bringing Vectra into your phone, into your mobile phone, or wherever you take us. So this new capability sends real-time security threats. That's like also um, posture, like system health as well, into Microsoft Teams. We don't have it supported on Slack just yet, but that is coming soon. And what this really does is instant notifications for critical security events. So uh, prioritize hosts, prioritize accounts, prioritize entities, and system health alerts. And so that means that you can see it on your phone. You can be out and about having a barbecue on Saturday, like, and then it just pops up on your phone, like, oh shoot, okay, let's go take care of this real quick. But it also shows another layer because in Teams, other folks can also see it too. Like, hey, I see this, I can take care of it. So it's just what it means is just faster response, improving speed and efficiency of incident response. And what we're really highlighting here is the speed. We understand that, attacks can, progress really, really fast. So we want to make sure that you get that speed that you need. Yeah.
Perfect. Awesome.
Mhm.
So, next up, I know we made some change in where we deliver updates and information in our UI. So, tell us about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you don't know, the question mark icon was on the bottom right, but now we moved it into the main navigation, and you can see that in the GIF that's playing right there. But essentially, what this is, it's just we moved that help icon to the main nav. It's just for better visibility into the announcements that we have, and we want to take this opportunity here to say that It's this help button, it's very, very useful. There's best practice guides, new product releases, support articles, just there to help you understand the product and platform a little bit more. So please take advantage of it. We're hoping this move allows people to see it a little bit better, to make it a little more intuitive in your workflow. So yeah, check it out.
Yeah, because we have customers that always say, "Hey, how can we stay in touch with everything that's going on in Vectra, the new things that's coming up?" And great that you're here listening to this podcast. But if you're in the product, this is where you find all the good stuff. So perfect.
Exactly. Yeah, there's some really good stuff there. Okay, switching gears, I'm gonna interrogate you to on Azure AD detections enhancements. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, of course. So Entra ID scripting engine, it's something that attacker loves abusing to conduct living off the land techniques. So what we've enhanced here is that we now introduce the enhancement in to improve both the breadth of the behaviors and also user agents covered by this detection. And also, not just that, but we are also improving the fidelity of this detection. And this is also very important because our philosophy is that you can have all the detections in the world, but if you can't see it um, buried in a sea of noise, then in the moment, critical moment, it really doesn't make a difference. So clarity is something that we invest a lot in, and also the fidelity of our alerts. So to reduce the false positive, to only show you the most important stuff. So you will be seeing a lot of our detection enhancement that we focus on fidelity, and we will be continuing to work on that. So yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. And like once you like you said, that clarity is, our bread and butter there. So we're constantly making enhancements to make it better for y'all. Awesome. Okay. UI improvements to Entra ID and M365 detections. What is this?
Yeah, sure. So it's more than a UI enhancement because what we're doing here is that we are providing more context for your investigation and making these information more accessible and quicker for you to see so that you can make the decision and get the context you need to answer questions during your investigation and response. So
Mm,
example, in our Entra ID privilege operation anatomy, we now give you the user agent details in the detection. So, for example, if there's a privilege escalation via an outdated browser, you'll be able to know and get the context of it. And sometimes there might be a compliance implication as well, right? So, it's easier. It's also easier to spot attacker activities versus a distinguish between that and a legitimate admin change. So that's important. Another example is that for our suspicious factor registration detection, now we show you why we think this event is suspicious. Could be unusual location, impossible travel, different reasons. But the point here is that it helps you reduce your guesswork and it also gives faster triage. So you know what it is immediately without even clicking one more button to ask why and figure out why. So yeah, and same with, let's say, spear phishing. Now we give you the file names as well that is involved in these spear phishing campaigns. And these file names are always strong indicator for threat hunting and correlation between different incidents. So all of these is really to help you accelerate your investigation and speeding up your response. And one thing to note is that these are powered by our metadata and the logs that we ingest, and we continue to invest in these and adding more log source in your Microsoft ecosystem because we know that the logs, there are so many challenge from the raw format of it. And what Vectra did is that we do enrich these log source so that help you resolve some of those challenge, but also gives you more context at the right time when an event is surfaced. So you can really stitch these contexts together and yeah, to accelerate your response. So more to come on that.
amazing. Yeah. And I think what we're doing here is also taking a lot of the feedback, a lot of, the wishes from our customers, and also just our understanding of the security workflow in general to make improvements so that,
Yes.
everyone's, doing their job better.
Mhm.
Yeah, amazing. So our I think second to last enhancement here is the Azure Cloud detection model enhancement. Can you tell me a little bit more about this too?
Yeah, of course. So, one thing the attackers love to do is to hide their activities once they're in your environment. So they will disable logging so that you don't even have the information that they did something, right? So what we did here in the Azure detection model is that we expanded the coverage. So we now can also alert you when we saw attackers disabling diagnostic logging for Windows and Linux VMs. So it's really about expanding the visibility in your Azure cloud environment, covering different more resources that we see. But the more important thing is not only what we see in Azure cloud, but the fact that we tie it back to Entra ID detection. The reason that is important is because a lot of the activities that we observe, attackers move from Entra ID to Azure cloud. So they always gain access to your Entra ID first. And that's why the ability to stitch together these activities, sometimes they can compromise Azure cloud first before exactly they can move around. But the point is that
Hmm.
we would combine our behavior detection findings. For example, we will know someone use a scripting engine in Entra ID, and then they try to disable logging in Azure Cloud. And we are able to correlate it into one identity and tell you this is the same person doing these two activities, and this is why it is very suspicious and you should look into it. And we are able to prioritize it with our AI agents. And so yeah, this is very important, and we are here to protect your Azure environment.
Amazing. Love that. All right. Our last enhancement here is called 5-minute hunts. I think I've seen this floating around. It looks really awesome. So, Tiff, can you share more about what this is?
Yeah, of course. I also have another podcast with our product management team, Girl. So if you haven't checked that out, do look at it. But 5-minute hunts, if you go into our investigate page, this is the new interface that you will see. And basically, we understand that security teams don't have time and resources to do threat hunting. And that's why we created these micro learning for you. It's ready made, built by security research, weekly hunt queries, and we explain what that is as well. Based on what we're seeing in the wild, these are sometimes it's attacker behaviors, sometimes it's vulnerability, sometimes it's compliance risk that we'll curate it as 5-minute hunts for you so that you can get threat hunting insights from our metadata within 5 minutes. And the key here is really about us trying to help you understand your modern network better through these threat hunts, which can help you accelerate your investigation and help you proactively hunt for modern attacks much faster.
That's awesome. And I think it's like an aspect of like education as well. Like we're not here just to sell you a product, right? We're also here, help build a community of security professionals here. And I
Yeah.
love that it's only 5 minutes. Five
Hmm.
minutes out of your day. You can just learn to like pick up some more like patterns and nuances that, like you wouldn't have the time otherwise. So I think that's amazing. And I also love the little dog like
Yeah.
graphic there. That's just adorable. I love that so
Yeah.
much.
It's it's very easy to help you build it into your workflow so that it becomes a habit, and you can always the other thing is you can always save the search afterwards. So you can always go back
Right. Yeah.
late 3 months later on the same threats that you've been seeing or compliance risk. We heard customers have been getting a lot of values with these threat hunting because of all the metadata that we have and the insights that they can get from it.
Yeah. One of our strongest points is the metadata. That investigate capability on our platform is incredibly powerful if you haven't used it already. But yeah, I think that's it. We have what we have for this month. So we're gonna link the knowledge base article, the support release notes down in the description if you want more information. But if you missed the second or the last one or the three ones before that, they're also all linked in our support knowledge center, support center, whatever it's called. But we'll link it down there. But thanks, Tiff, for joining me on this product release enhancement podcast once again. We do this every month, so check it out. But yeah, comment down below. What do you think? What do you think? What are you most excited about in this podcast? Is it the Microsoft Teams alert? Is it the 5-minute threat hunts? Like, just comment down below. We love to hear what you think. And yeah, Tiff, thank you so much for your time. You want to say any last words for the audience?
Oh, thanks for having me. Hope to see you in the next one.
Yeah. All right. Have a good day, everyone. Bye bye.
Bye.